B, I think I want to talk about the TDE topic. We gotta
Okay,
talk
let's get
about it
into it.
because we had this topic up that kind of like came up since between this show and last episode. Absol tweeted, so according to the number slash analytics or whatever the F, a tour for me has yet to be finalized. Soulburger, which is his album that we reviewed, make sure you go check out that review out, and we actually both liked it, dropped last
Mhm.
November. I'm not pointing any fingers, but dang, I feel like that was some of my best work. I highly disagree, but let's keep going. Some things in the water for show. This feels similar to the end of physical distribution, which ultimately resulted in the fall of my family owned record store, Magic Disc Music. I suppose I say all this to apologize for the delay to anyone who anticipates seeing it performed live. I do hope to see you soon. Now, B, this is like a number one, this is like a top tier 101 class session and gaslighting and manipulation right here. This is crazy right here, B. B, you know Absol's one of my favorite artists, especially from the blog era.
Mm.
This is crazy manipulation tactics right here. He did not just say this. This is crazy. I'm
He
not trying to point
did.
fingers, but he's
It
like,
was kind
hey,
of
this feels
sad.
like the downfall of like physical media. Like, what are we talking about,
It
Absol?
was it was kind of sad though to see him tweet this, bro. Because it was sad when he tweeted the other stuff last year as well about the
I
album.
agree. I was literally about to say that.
And I'm like, man, Ab, it's like so you could tell that it's something like even in his interview he talked about like he tried to do, what he's not, used to doing is like trying to make a banger, trying to, he tried. So I think I think he genuinely feel like this is his best work because he did something that he's not, used to doing. Clever with Ty Dolla signs, you know what I'm saying? Like he stepped out of his zone and he tried to create, something like actually bringing someone, making the concept of bringing someone he loves into it as well, that he lost and wanted to make something that he probably would have liked. I don't know, man. It's sad. I understand the gaslighting and the manipulation, but it just sucks seeing Absol tweet like this because I feel like he don't feel.
Loved,
It seems like he don't feel loved, or he's like
listened to,
not
shelved,
listened to. Yeah, he's like the. It's the word I'm looking for.
has
He's
been.
a black. No, no. God damn it, B. No, I'm saying he's like the
B, I'm
black
being
sheep.
real over here, god dang
But
it.
he's like the black sheep of like TDE, man. You know what I'm saying? When you think about the core of TDE, like yeah, you're not comparing him to Ray Vaughn, but I'm just saying if you think about the core of TDE, like
We gotta talk about the big
the top,
four.
the
The big
top
four.
six, the
Okay,
top,
Isaiah Rashad and
uh,
SZA.
yeah, all seven.
Okay,
If you think
okay.
about Sir,
Sir.
you know what I'm saying. So it's like if you think about it, he is a part of like the forefront of like TDE in the beginning, like you say, the big four, the guys that actually was the foundation. Besides, I'm pretty sure it was stuff underneath that, but I'm talking about that actually put him on the map. Um, it just sucks to see him tweeting like this because Absol is the guy that's don't say much. He say a lot in his rounds, but like it's TDE. Like it's TDE. Like he ends like verses with that, and it's kind of feel like is he going at TDE here? Is he having some
So
stuff going on in the
he
background
has a
with his
second tweet
label?
that he followed this up with. To be clear, that was not a jab at my team in any way. Either the game is changing, in quotes, as it does and will always, end quotes, or I just didn't connect creatively. Nonetheless, I can adapt. I'm still working, still blessed, still motivated. Church on the move with a church emoji.
Yeah, yeah, but
Um,
him look, but him having to tweet that afterwards is like it's a shot at the label, bro. Who else told you that? How else
well,
you get
B,
that?
someone in the comments said that Top blew your budget on Dochi's BBL, my Negro. That
Come
B,
on, bro.
B, I saw that comment. B, I died laughing. That is the funniest ish ever. B, B, you know this one of my favorite artists. When it comes to the slander and the jokes, I could take the jokes, man. That was hilarious when he said that. I'm like, yo. B, he
Hey,
wrote the most liked tweet under his comment. B,
it's a good BBL too, though. It's a good BBL, bro. I thought it was natural.
hey, they say we
But like,
can't go over the top with this. We still got to make it marketable.
but in all seriousness, man, I
Mhm.
know I actually replied to like what Jeremy Heck had something to say about it. with him talking about, continue to push your album. I agree with that, but it's like you gotta understand like who an artist is. Like you gotta understand like where's the push. Like I don't think that money will be pushed marketing wise to Ab-Soul like that because look who the label is, they working on right now. They working on Doechii, and like Doechii is more accessible. Even with even with Ab doing quote unquote a more accessible album, you could listen to it and it's still not more accessible. Like
Mhm.
because you still have those Ab-Soul moments. You start the freaking album off, rap it on a freaking 8 Mile, like you know what I'm saying? Like sampling that and
You
sampling what's that?
Belly intro. Grady.
Huh? I'll be ready. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. What's kind of which is fire. I loved it.
I agree.
You was rapping your butt off, but it's like apps. It's just like damn. It's like man, I don't know how to help because when it comes to managing tours and budgeting, yeah, I went to school for it, and we had to do assignments about like tour management and like sales and numbers. I don't know how Ab-Soul can't have a little tour. Not even it's artists, independent artists that's not even on a label like TDE that do tours yearly, that have their core fan base. And I think Ab-Soul can get a 250 people at a venue easily and do a good venue, a good show, a good tour. I don't know. I don't see how he can do a tour though. That kind of threw me off. Like I don't know. I don't know. I think he could do a tour just based, not even just off this album, as his fan base. You don't think he could do a little tour beat?
I don't think a tour is in like at a venue like the Dallas what is it, the Dallas, what is that venue in Dallas? I think he'd have to do something that's a bit more intimate, but I hate to say it like this, B. I really hate to say it like this. He did like what, 5K on Soul
Yeah,
Burger? B.
yeah,
I don't think the interest is there for Absol anymore. I think the problem with Absol is that he has too many gaps in his discography. From Do What Thou Wilt to Herbert,
yeah.
big gap. From Herbert to this, which is a different sound, because Herbert was the comeback album.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we got Absol back. We got now Soul Burger. This is
Mm-hmm.
a way different album. And I'm gonna be real with you, B.
Mm-hmm.
One, Absol, he's not out there feature wise like that. He's not keeping his own name relevant.
Mm-hmm.
I think the problem is he wasn't doing the work around the album because you obviously gotta do the album, right? Duh, you gotta do the
Mm-hmm.
album. But it's the work around the album. Because B, without you knowing who Doughburger is, without you knowing the context because you're an Absol fan, how am I supposed to know that this is supposed to be a concept album?
Yeah. I was actually trying to.
Interviews ain't looked at like that no more. So
That's
most
true.
likely people saw a new Absol thing. We gotta remember these blog sites on Twitter, like NFR, Kirkos and all them, they're the new things that people go to, not for news on hip hop. They're not posting about Absol. So when you first hear a Absol album, which they most likely did not promote, you probably saw someone else on Twitter that's a hip hop head say, "Oh, new Absol came out with a new album." You went to go listen to it, and you like, "What the f is Ab on?" Like he's doing a song with
Mm-hmm.
Ty Dolla Sign, like you just said. Especially if you're not looking at these newer media outlets like DJ Head's Effective Immediately, you're not gonna know that he did an interview and why he's talking the way he is on that album. I think the problem is everything around the album. Absol wasn't doing his runarounds around the album. Schoolboy Q did that with Blue Lips, albeit Schoolboy Q is a bigger artist than Absol. Schoolboy Q was doing the rounds. He was on Twitter heavily. He was doing the interviews. He was interacting with people. Absol just thought he could just drop something into the void and thought that it was going to make some noise. That's the problem. He wasn't
Yeah.
doing the
And
work around it. Now I know him. We could talk about him and Dochi's marketing being different because in the meantime, while you was talking, I was trying to look for the reply that you had to Jeremy Hecht about that because he was like, "Yeah, you should keep promoting your album. Cream rises to the top." I wanted to tell Jeremy, stop lying. We need to start
mm,
being real with these artists. Cream does not always rise to the top. Absol is one of the best artists that we had coming out of the blog era. Control System is one of the best albums that we had coming out of the blog era. When we talk about top 10 projects on the blog era, a lot of people ain't gonna have Control System in there.
but my thing if about Ab-Soul, he was kind of foreshadowing this. Like he knew this was coming because he talked about the hits. He wanted to make a song. He wanted to make some songs that could get some traction. Because look, I'm looking at the TDE. tours. You got Kendrick and
Hmm.
SZA.
Hmm.
Then Schoolboy Q going on another tour in May called Blue
Hmm.
Lips, got new songs tour. And then Sir has his tour starting May, the Steps into the Light tour. Like Sir album is cool. I don't know how much it sold, but it's I don't know if it's always like this spot for like artists like Sir with the R&B. It's like
I think
I
there
feel like
is.
yeah, I think they all share like the same kind of like crowd. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
But you gotta look at Schoolboy Q, right? Q have those. He has bodies of work, and he has hit songs that can always, carry him into a tour, and people want to see him. And Ab Soul was speaking on. He was like, why I didn't perform at the pop out? I didn't have a hit. J Rock got to perform. Schoolboy got to perform. Kendrick, obviously, but me, I had nothing to play, and I was just like,
No, he
that's
should
what
have
made me
played. He
what
should have played. He literally has a song he could have played. The song off of GTA, which is off of Control System. Illuminate, featuring Kendrick Lamar. Shine, shine, shine,
I know
shine.
the
Give me
song,
the
but
light.
it's
That's the one song
but
he could have played. I'm not saying that's a hit, but he
but
could have
B,
played that.
but I'm just saying you gotta have look what J Rock played.
Oh, yeah, when?
When that's gonna get
That's
the
unfair though. Yeah,
I'm just saying you gotta look what Q played. Collard Greens was huge. Like you gotta look at compare those songs to that song, bro. It's
you're
just
right. You're right. You're
it's
right.
different. And he
You're
talked
right.
about it.
I
And I
agree.
yeah. And he was talking about it. And I didn't want to feel bad for Ab because we love Ab Soul. He's like your rapper's favorite rapper. Like he's that guy. And he don't have those singles like that, but it's just still just it's you
Bodies of
could
work,
tell,
man.
yeah, you could tell like when it comes to someone, when you look at your peers and you're like, damn, I want that too. Like, yeah, I am the rapidy rap guy, but I want to dabble in that as well. It's just hard, bro. And then you got SZA, you got Sir had a moment with a track. It's just I feel bad for him. And I feel like he tried. I don't know if I mentioned this in the review, but I thought he tried to do the whole secular stuff with These Days because it felt like he had some stuff like Rick Ross. I didn't go back to These Days as much, but it felt like more like out of his element in certain points with These Days.
It did, but it still had those heady ab soul moments that for I think the problem is this B. All of Black Hippie, the roster
Hmm.
wise, their projects are a lot more accessible than Ab Soul's. Ab
Hmm.
Soul is that niche artist. Like he helped Kendrick become a better rapper. People don't
Hmm.
know that though. So I think the thing is, I think he has not mastered the art of being easily accessible music wise, but also giving you that jam. For example, Lupe is a perfect example of that for me. At
Hmm.
least the first two album Lupe, with Food and Liquor and the Cool. Perfect
Hmm.
example of that. He's giving you the medicine within the candy. I mean, yeah, he's giving you the medicine in the candy. Absol has not mastered that. To me, he's more on that range, and it's hard for me to say. To me, he's more on that range of like the immortal techniques. Like he's closer to that than he is a Kendrick Lamar.
That's true though. I understand. That's what I'm saying. He's like your rapper, your favorite rapper's favorite rapper. Like
Hmm.
that's like the lane he's in, and I think he's typecast, and he kind of want to get out of that. But I think if he wanted to do that, I know he deal with a lot of personal stuff that went on in his life, and I can't like, put that towards him. But I understand that it's hard sometimes going through things and actually produce some art. And I just wish that I don't know. I just wish he had that moment, be like that one song. You know, like you sometimes you forget how Schoolboy Q had moments, bro. Like he has multiple. That part, like I forget that him and Kanye had that. That joint was
No,
that
I
was
didn't.
crazy.
It's
And
fire.
I'm just saying, like I forget how big that song was. You just like
Studio.
dang studio and Absol never got that moment. He
He
never
never
got
got a
that.
hood gonna love it. He never got a win-win-win.
He didn't get that, and it's just I don't know.
I think the thing is, I just think that I think there's no interest for Absol anymore. The stocks are at its lowest that it can be for Absol. The stocks bumped up because Herbert came out, and we wanted to hear where Absol has been. But after that, it's like
And
B
I think
5K. He sold 5K. We not the numbers cast, but B we know streams does not dictate quality. It dictates interest.
I
No one
think
was
I
interested in the Absol album.
I think Ab should change. his market in a way of like I think he should. You see the whole teaser of him like being with like Rock Marciano or something,
Mm-mm.
like him and Rock Marciano like working on something. I think Ab need to get into that bag. He needs to more collaborate with the Rock Marcianos because
With the
he
static
has
selectors and stuff like that.
yeah like Ab Soul could reach out. He's on J Cole last album. Like Ab Soul has he has those type of ties because he came up with those guys right. Like he
Hmm.
can get a Jid, he you know what I mean. He can get in contact with like a Ty Dolla Signs, but I think he should dial back. It's kind of like what Earl Sweatshirt did. Like Earl went a different lane. I think Ab Soul should do the same thing. I think Ab should be linked. Like, yeah, he linked with Daylight, but I think he should be linked with like West Side Gun, Rock Marciano, Rome Streets. He need to link with them underground cats and kind of grab that audience, which they know who Ab Soul is because they familiar with TDE, of course, and Ab Soul's a rapper. But I think he should kind of stay in that
Mm.
lane and stop trying to be because I think he could be successful taking that not that traditional independent route with kind of integrating himself into that part of hip hop.
Mm.
I think he'll do really well in that. I could be wrong, but from my outlook of like those type of rhymers and the type of crowds that them people get and they tour, you know what I'm saying? I think he can do it. Look what Ransom doing. Like
So do you
these
think
guys are touring, bro. They
so
doing shows.
so B, do you think that Absol could get an Alchemist stimulus package? Do you think that'll bump
Bro,
him
yeah.
up?
Bro, him and Al could, bro. And
No, no, we
he
know it'll
has,
be fire. I'm not questioning the
yeah.
quality, but I'm questioning in terms of like
He
the looks in the main, not
excuse me.
mainstream, but like in hip hop head circles and Twitter and stuff like that. How much of a bump do you think that will give him with the Alchemist stimulus package?
I think that'll help a lot, bro.
Him,
I
because
think
him
he
getting a
should
whole project with him or Static Selector, I'm cool with Static Selector as well. I
picture
don't
if
think there's
Ab
much of a name on Static Selector like a Alchemist though.
picture Ab like just getting into the in the booth with Alchemist, get in the studio with Alchemist. And then he also can pull in, even though Schoolboy Q already worked with Al, but he can get a Q, he can get a J Rock on Al.
Freddie.
He can, and I'm Freddie, like he can. I think it'll work more if he get into that lane. But I think he want he wants some mainstream success, and I think it's gets to a point where he kind of like was nonchalant to it and trying to ignore it, like I'm gonna be me. That it's getting to a point where like that's really what he wants, but he don't want to admit it. But I think he should just dial back and just kind of fall back and not fall back in a way of like, oh, you're going down, but just be you. But also, it's so many guys that cater to like the style of rap you got. A lot of people that raps and love the rap, bro, that you can just link up with. And I think it'll be dope for him. I think it'll help his. I think it'll boost his career
Hmm.
because
I
he will
agree.
have. I think it will, but I could be wrong. I could be totally wrong. And I'm up.
I hate to be like this, B. I think I know what he needs.
What he needs be
He needs that Kendrick feature.
the K dot.
He needs that K dot stimulus right now. Cause B, think
When
about it
last?
like this. He gets that Kendrick stimulus. He gets the Kendrick feature. First thing people gonna type up. NFR and Kirko and them gonna post that feature. They're
Yeah.
gonna post it on their stuff. That's gonna give it that instant boost. Especially with how hot Kendrick Lamar is right now. And then hearing these two on a track together, hopefully
Hmm.
sparring going back and forth, kind of like how they did on Pie with him, Daylight, and J. Cole, doing something like that. Oh, B. Oh, B. We would have talks of like song of the year at the top of the year if that
When the
type of
last
thing
time?
would have come out.
When the last time him and Kendrick? Okay, Kendrick was on the. Oh,
Black
he
Lip
had an
Bastard,
interlude, but he had an
right?
interlude on These Days. Kendrick
Okay.
did. I remember that, but I don't think they actually had a song together in a while.
Yeah, I don't think they have since Control System.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
Absol was, I hate to say it like this, Absol was never on a Kendrick album. Mixtapes, but not an album.
not an album. Hmm.
Schoolboy Q has been on a Kendrick album, I think.
J Rock.
J Rock definitely has. Absol's the only one.
Have Q been on this
I,
Kendrick album?
that's what I'm thinking.
I don't think so.
Kendrick has been on the Schoolboy Q album though.
Of course, he been on all day albums.
I'm trying to think. Maybe Schoolboy Q hasn't, but I think Schoolboy Q has gotten enough songs and radio play to not need, even though
Yeah,
one of the songs that he has
but I
with
don't think
is with Kendrick.
Q never was on the Kendrick album. He been on
Okay,
Overly Dedicated.
Yeah.
He
And I
had the
think
remix.
Absol
They had
was
the
on Section
remix.
80.
They had the remix to what was that?
Black
What's
Lip
that
Bastard.
Kendrick song? Yeah,
Oh, never mind.
it
That's
was a
high
Kendrick
power.
song,
Or high
right?
power. High power, right?
Dang, I'm thinking of something later than that. I could be wrong. No, they did a remix.
Oh,
They
the
did
recipe. That was
yeah,
on the Good Kid, Mad City bonus
mhm.
deluxe or
Yeah,
whatever.
that
But we don't
was
count that
yeah,
though.
right.
But
But
yeah,
they did do a freestyle. Remember the Black Hippie freestyle or something they did like
and
in
the Black Hippie
2014?
and the Black Hippie mixtape. Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Not that, not the mixtape, but they did after
Oh, you talking
like
about the
the Pimp a
cipher?
Butterfly.
The cipher?
Nah, before the Pimp a Butterfly came out, afterwards, they had like a little song. They rapped off somebody else's beat. What was
It
it?
wasn't that J. Cole song, right?
No,
It was all right.
did they do
No,
a
no.
that part, Black Hippie that part remix? Am I
Oh, they
bugging?
did. They did. They
Yeah, they
did.
did. That's the last thing I remember them all of them doing together.
No. Oh, no,
Yeah.
no, no, no. B. 9059.
What?
Vice City.
Oh, they was on that
They was
too.
on
They was on
90
that.
J. Yeah, they was
Yeah,
on
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Look at us reminiscing about Black Hippie, man.
Yeah,
But
that's
yeah,
crazy.
besides that though, I think Absol needs that Kendrick feature. He needs that Kendrick stimulus. I need people to put some respect on my goddamn boy's name. I listen to Soul Burger. You listen to Soul Burger. I would have
Yeah.
pre-ordered the vinyl if I could have, even though it's sold out now. But we need to start putting some respect on Absol's name. But Absol, we need to take the Twitter away from him because every time he posts something on Twitter, people start clowning him. You saw what he said about Drake last year. People are starting to use that now against Absol. I'm like,
What he say about Drake?
he was like, "Oh, if Drake is the MC that he really is or should be, he could bounce back from this." People keep using that against Absol now. If
Oh,
Absol
yeah,
really
yeah.
is the MC that he claims to be, he could easily bounce back from this. I'm like, no, no. They're using your own card against you.
Hey,
B,
bro.
B. Every time I see it, I laugh, but it hurts. It's so
Yeah.
painful, B.
Because Av got like over 1 million followers on like Twitter, right?
He has
Or
one
am I
million
bugging?
followers on Twitter.
Yeah, like people know who Al Soul is. Like, I'm not trying to use
Nah,
Twitter
they
as a
probably,
metric.
but also we got to remember,
He used to
we
be
don't
more
know what he
active.
gained
Yeah,
exactly, but we
they used to
also
be
don't know
way
how
more.
much he gained over the Kendrick and Drake beef.
But no, he been Al Soul been had a lot of people, bro.
Oh, okay, see,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. But
but
nah,
yeah,
man. I don't know. I just it hurts me, bro, to see Absol do that.
I just hate how people just don't respect Absol anymore. B, every time I feel like I'm always on Twitter every week. This is the same man that made Control System. Stop it.
He gave us Jesus walks. They talking about this for Kanye, huh?
Facts. Look, was it but he made Graduation though. That's me with Absol, but he made Control System. B, I'm
Oh my
sorry,
God.
man. I just hate to see one of my favorites done like this, man. We had to have a
Yeah.
talk about this though, because I know Troy made some videos about how TDE's been moving weird and stuff like that. Shout out to Troy for that. Y'all make sure
I
y'all check
didn't
out his.
I didn't watch Troy video. I need to check it out.
Yeah, he made a
Yeah,
video of
check-
this Ab Soul thing, but he also made a video about TDE moving weird and stuff like that,
Okay.
or how TDE has been on the downfall. But yeah, y'all let us know what y'all think about this Ab Soul tweet and all that down in the comment section down below.
Man, shout out to Beyond Beats and Culture.